Personal, too bad. I thought Bobby was fixing to leave too. Like, I'm gone. Thanks. Sorry. I got man, I want to tell you a story. I want to talk to you. I told you last week, we kind of looked at some of the famous folks of the Bible. We looked at Caleb last week, the story of the Israelites. Shared that with you and how much God moved. But this week, we want to talk about a couple other famous folks in the Bible in the Old Testament. It's a tale of two prophets. If you want to title it anything, this is what it is. There were two old boys, one named Elijah and one named Elisha. The problem is, me being Southern, they both sound the same. So we're going to pretend like they were wrestlers. So Elijah number 1 and Elisha number 2. How about that? So number one was the original prophet, Elijah. And Elijah came along. You're going to find this story, book of 1 Kings in the Old Testament. You see it in the 17th chapter where the story begins, and it goes on into 2 Kings. We're going to be looking at 1 Kings 19, where I really want to focus this morning. You can go ahead and turn to verses 19 through 21 if you like. We'll get there in a moment, but I got to tell you what's going on. So Elijah was a prophet called by God. Let me explain to you about the prophets real quick, just in case you, I don't know, maybe just don't know, and that's okay. The prophets were in a time before Jesus, many, many years ago. Elijah actually began his ministry somewhere, I wrote it down, somewhere around 875 BC. So almost 900 years, 875 years before Jesus was born, Elijah was a prophet to the king. The king at the time was named Ahab. Not the same Ahab made famous by Ray Stevens, Ahab the Arab. It was another Ahab. Y'all know that song, I hope. Ahab was the king, he was not a good king. And he was married to a woman named Jezebel. Everybody in here has heard the name Jezebel before. Let me tell you something, anytime you hear Jezebel, it's never in a good light. Jezebel is a cursed name. You don't want to name somebody Jezebel. That's not a good thing. It's an insult, especially here in the South. If you call somebody a Jezebel, they know what you're talking about. It ain't good. But Jezebel was an evil queen who influenced this king Ahab. And they began to worship pagan gods. They began to worship Asherah and Baal and many other gods they shouldn't have been worshiping. And they were doing things they shouldn't do. And God sent a prophet, a man that he spoke to clearly, whose message was to bring God's message to the king and to the nation of Israel. Now the nation had split at this time. It was in two separate nations. There was Israel and Judah. Southern was Judah, where Jerusalem was. Israel was the northern kingdom. And the northern kingdom was power, the coastline, all the trade and profit. They had a lot of money. They had a lot of stuff. And Ahab was the king, and he was not good. And Elijah was the prophet God had called. And a lot of times the prophet would bring a message of hope. They would bring a message of encouragement. They would bring these kind of messages. But Elijah didn't bring those messages. Elijah brought down warnings from God. He brought down punishment upon the king. He told him bad things are going to happen. And his ministry came. And one of the most famous stories of Elijah was he called together and came to the land. The king had been hunting him down. He'd been looking for him all over the place. If anybody found him, there was a bounty on his head. And Elijah comes forth. And he's speaking to a guy named Obadiah. And he tells him, go tell the king I'm here. He said, man, I can't do that. He said, if I go tell the king you're here, and then he comes back to get you, and you're not here, he's going to kill me. He said, don't worry about that. Go tell him I'm here. I want to meet with him. So Elijah meets with the king, and they go up on Mount Carmel, this giant mountain there in northern Israel. And they're sitting there on the mountain, and he says, here's what I want to do. I want to prove to you how great God is. I want to prove to you that God can do anything. And these false gods you're worshiping are worthless. He said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go, and I want you to get the 450 prophets that you have of Baal. And I want you to go and get the 400 prophets that you have of Asherah. And all these false things, I want you to bring them to Mount Carmel. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to challenge them against God. And we're going to see what happens. And so they get up there and they build an altar. One to Asherah and Baal, and they build one to God Almighty. And he says, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut up the meat. We're going to put the offering on the altar that you built. And you're going to call down fire from your God. So they begin to pray and worship and try and get it, and nothing's happening. And the people are dancing around, and they're drinking, and they're acting crazy, and they're jumping, and they're being silly, and nothing's happening. Because let me tell you something, false gods can't do anything, folks. See, you can worship false gods all your life. You can call out to them ain't nothing going to happen. They ain't nothing but figments of your imagination. They're creations that you've made. But here's the deal, folks. Don't be worshiping any creation. Worship the Creator. You see, the problem is too many people put too much faith in creation. We put faith in money. We put faith in power. We put faith in stuff. Let me tell you something. You better be worshiping the one that made everything. Because that's the only one that matters. But they were calling out names. And Elijah began to kind of laugh and mock them. He said, hey, maybe your God's asleep. Maybe you need to yell a little louder. Get a little more energy. Maybe he'll listen. Maybe he's away on vacation. And they began to yell and scream. And they began to say, hey, they ain't hearing you. So they began to cut themselves and scream and shout and bleed, and ain't nothing happening. And Elijah says, okay, let me show you how it's done. And he goes and he builds this altar, and he puts the bull on it. And then he says, I tell y'all what, this is too easy. I want you to pour water all over this altar. So they pour pots of water. He said, there ain't enough water. Keep pouring water. They dug a trench around the altar. They dug a moat and they filled the water until it filled up the moat around the altar, so much water. He said, now watch what happens. And he prays, says, oh sovereign God, show these folks who you are. I'm paraphrasing. But let me tell you what happened. God sent fire. And he didn't just send fire. He sent a fire so hot that it cooked the meat till it was gone. And it was so hot that the rocks got so hot that the water all around it evaporated and dried up. See, God sent so much power they couldn't even do anything with it. And Elijah said, this is the God we worship. This is the God who does great things. This is who you need to put your faith in. And he said, people of Israel, stop worshiping these false things. Stop worshiping all these things that can't do anything for you. And worship the living God. And let's take them out. And Elijah, some of the men of Israel, slaughtered 850 prophets. Dead. Now you think Elijah would be feeling good about himself. You think the people would be feeling strong, right? Think, man, God just showed up. God just showed out. They know He's real. They're going to turn to God, but the people didn't. And the queen heard about what happened, and she said, I tell you what, I'm going to kill Elijah. And Elijah has seen the mighty things of God. He's seen the wonders of the Lord. By the way, the story's found in 1 Kings 18th chapter. He's seen all these great things, the power of God, but he gets scared. He's scared of the queen. Because he could see the queen. He knew the queen was there. He knew what she could do. He was scared she was going to take his life, and he began to run from fear. He's seen God do something great. But then the world shows up. And it scared him. Anybody ever been there? Have you ever been in a situation you knew God was real? You've seen God do great things. You've seen miraculous healings. You've felt things in your own life. You've seen marriages restored. You've seen families come back together. You've seen all kinds of great things. But then trouble comes. And we forget all the great things of God and we worry about those troubles. That's reality. It happens. I ain't saying it's right. I'm just telling you it happens. Elijah, a great prophet of God. The man was in touch with God. Let me tell you how strong he was. God told him, tell the people, it won't rain for 3.5 years. For 3.5 years, it didn't rain. God spoke through the man and he believed him. But when trouble came, he got scared. So he ran and he hid in a valley. And God took him to this valley and took care of him. While he was in the valley, guess what's happened? This is right before he faced these people. Guess what happens? God provided for him. While there's no rain, there's no food, ravens brought him food. Ravens are birds y'all won't even feed their own young. Yet God used this unclean, vile bird to bring fresh food to Elijah. Yeah. He had a mountain stream that never went dry despite no rain to give him fresh water. God did great things, but Elijah was afraid. So God said, I want you to go to this cave. And in this cave, the Lord will come. And I just told him, you'll see him. God's going to come by. And he's in the cave. Y'all heard, some of you have heard this story. Some of you may have never heard this before, and that's okay. But what happens is he hears a violent earthquake. He hears the earth shaking. He hears all these things happening. And all these things are happening around him. And he thinks, okay, it's God speaking. But it wasn't God. And he heard a great mighty wind blow. And he heard a storm come. And he thought, okay, here comes God. It wasn't God. And then all of a sudden, he heard a still small whisper. Robbie sings that song all the time about that small voice. He heard this small voice say, Elijah, God's coming. Let me pick up right there for a moment. Y'all with me? Pretty exciting. Wait till you see what we have coming up. So the great and powerful wind tore the mountains and shattered the rocks before the Lord was whirlwind in the wind. And after the wind was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came the gentle whisper. When Elijah heard it, he pulled his cloak over his face and he went out and stood at the mouth of the cave. And then a voice said to him, what are you doing here, Elijah? He replied, I've been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. This is verse 14 of chapter 19. The Israelites have rejected your covenant. They've torn down your altars. They put your prophets to death with the sword. I am the only one left. And now they're trying to kill me too. Have you ever felt like you were the only one? You ever been in a situation where you're serving God and nobody around you seems to be, and you feel like I'm all alone? I'm the only person that even cares. I'm the only person left who understands the goodness of God. I'm the only person who wants to give Him glory. I feel like I'm the only one around me who cares. And it gets hard. You get weary. Many times I've stood in this very pulpit and I've told you, be careful who you hang out with. I've told you that you go and you can help people. That's true. But here's what happens more times than not. Yeah. There's more people who can harm you than you can help. And when you begin to hang out with the wrong people and do the wrong things, you find yourself blending in with the crowd rather than standing apart from God. Because it's easy to do. Because we as people, we have a inherent in us this desire to be accepted, this desire to be loved, this desire for community. And when we're standing on a principle and we're standing on something that nobody else is standing on, we get lonely. We get afraid. Am I the only one, or have you guys been there? And you begin to question, what am I doing? And pretty soon, you go down a path you don't want to go down. Elijah said, I'm the only one, God. I'm it. And they're trying to kill me. I don't know what to do. But see, God didn't abandon Elijah. He didn't give up on him. The Lord said, go back the way you came. Go to the desert of Damascus. And when you get there, anoint Hazael, the king over Aram. Also anoint Jehu, the son of Nimshi, the king over Israel. And anoint Elisha. Number 2. Son of Shaphat from Abel Meholah to succeed you as the prophet. Jehu will put to death any who escape the sword of Hazael, and Elisha will put to death any who escape the sword of Jehu. Yet I reserve 7,000 in Israel, all whose knees have not bowed down to Baal, and whose mouths have not kissed him. You see, God didn't owe it to Elijah to explain himself, but he loved him enough to do it. He said, you're not alone, Elijah. 7,000 people remain who have not given in to these false gods. 7,000 people, a remnant of this people, they still remain, and I'll build a nation out of them. And you're not alone, and you won't be. Anoint a new king. He'll take over and things will change. You've got to trust me, Elijah. But he also told him, he said, I'm giving you a successor. You see, though Elijah's commitment was strong to God, though he was willing to confront the king and he was willing to do everything, Elijah had grown weary. And his ministry had, well, for lack of a better word, it had ceased. And God said, Elijah, you've done good for me. I got somebody else in mind that you're going to take. He's going to take over for you. It's important to understand when you can't do what you used to be able to. And understand that God still has a plan, and He can use others. But you still have a part to play. You see, I've said this before, you never retire from church. But sometimes you slow down a little over what you used to do. But that don't mean you're worthless. You still have a job you can do. You see, everybody has a role to play. I tease because I joke with my kids all the time, but I'm getting older and I know it. Yesterday, Paxton had a party for his friends. Paxton's birthday was last weekend, and he had a party for his friends, and we went to a place in town called Launch. Launch is a trampoline park, okay, where the whole floor is nothing but trampolines. And you got kids running around bouncing all over the place, and you pay for an hour, and you're thinking, man, that's a ripoff. I'm paying for an hour. This is going to go by so fast. About 15 minutes into the hour, I'm like, when is this hour going to be up? So we're like, let's play dodgeball. Okay, I didn't realize I was the biggest target. Thought I still had it. I knocked out a few, but I got me. Dunk basketball. Great, I can do this off a trampoline. I didn't even get close. Dive into this pit. Okay, I dive into this airbag pit. The airbag surrounds me. I can't get out. It's sucking around me. I'm just fighting to get out of the thing. Like, they make it look so easy. This little kid goes beside me, don't even make a dent. They hit and they walk out on the thing. I get it. I'm fat and old. That's what it tells me. I woke up this morning and I worked all over. Last thing I said, I'm going to take on. I told Preston, let's go through the obstacle course. I'll beat you. She's like, I don't want to. Paxton said, I'll race you. I said, all right, I'll smoke you, son. I believe he could have lapped me because I got stuck in the obstacle. I dove through the rings thinking I'll get through these things. It's about 15 feet of these circular air things. I'm like, I got this. I dove through. I got about halfway through it and everything's surrounding me. And I just couldn't get out. I get around the end and Paxton's having a drink sitting there waiting on me. It was bad. Okay, I tell you that story to say this. My time of bouncing on trampolines is about up. But I'll pass it on to the kids. I'll let them do it. I still have fun, but I can't do what I used to do. Elijah was still a man of God, but he couldn't do the service he used to do. I look around, I know folks have been in this church a very long time, and they've served this church a long time, but reality is they can't do the things they used to. It's not that they don't want to. Physically, they can't do what they used to do. What the thing is, we're supposed to raise up others who can fill in that gap, and then we look to our elders and we ask them for the advice, and we look to them for the comfort. And I love the fact that some of these elders in this church are the first ones to line up and be here for anything we do. Because that's a good, healthy church. They're here to support and do. Sometimes I've had a talk with them, they feel I can't do what I used to. That's okay. You got a new purpose. See, Elijah had a new purpose. His purpose was to train Elisha. It was to get him ready. Elijah served the Lord as a prophet. I looked it up this morning because I wanted to know. From 875 BC to 848 BC. If you're going backwards, that's 25 years plus 3, about 28 years he served. Plus 2, 27 years. So about 27 years he was a prophet to Israel. We read about it in 3 or 4 verses, you can think, or 3 or 4 chapters, you think, man, that was, this all happened immediately. Man, this was a long process. 20 plus years he served faithfully to the point where he thought he was the only one. Praise God, he wasn't the only one. So he turns it over, and that's where we pick up where I want to talk about this morning. He turns it over to Elisha, who began serving in 848 BC, and he went all the way to 797 BC. I said, well, why is that important? Just a little over 50 years, nearly twice as long as Elijah was the prophet. Kind of interesting. Yet we continue to remember Elijah because of what he did, but Elisha was nearly twice as long as the prophet to Israel. Listen to what it says in chapter 19, because there's a couple of things I really want y'all to focus on and I really want you to get this morning. So Elijah Elijah number 1. Went from there and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat. Number 2. He was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen, and he himself was driving the 12 pair. And Elijah went up to him and threw his cloak around him. And Elisha then left his oxen and ran after Elijah. He said, "Let me kiss my father and mother goodbye, and then I will come with you." "Go back," Elijah told him. "What have I done to you?" So Elisha left him and went back. And then he took his yoke of oxen and he slaughtered them. He burned the plowing equipment to cook the meat, and he gave it to the people, and they ate. And then he set out to follow Elijah and become his servant. Just a few very short verses, but let me tell you something. There's a lot of power in this. Let me share this with you and why it's important. Number 1. Elijah did what God told him to. He went and he found Elisha, just as God had instructed him to do. This is the man I told you who felt like he was the only one, who felt like at the end that God had a job for him. He went and he found Elisha. And the first thing he did was he threw his cloak on him. Let me tell you the symbolism and the power in that. The cloak was the most important thing these guys wore. It was the most important. When they slept, it could be a pillow. It was a blanket. It was the outer garment. It kept them free from, it kept them warm on cold nights. It kept the sand and the sun off of them on hot days. It was a very important thing. And for him to take his cloak and put it around Elisha was symbolic, saying, "Elisha, you're going to do what I used to do. You're going to become who I used to be. And you are chosen of God." A big deal, right? Elisha gets the cloak and he knows what it means. But he runs after Elijah and he says, "Hey, I like this idea, but wait. I got some things I need to do." Now he says, "Let me go say goodbye to my mother and father," which, by the way, does not sound like an unreasonable thing, does it? Jesus told a parable very, very similar. Look at me for just a second. It's very cool how Christ did this in Luke, the 9th chapter. You don't have to turn there, but you can if you like. Luke chapter 9, verse 61. It hit me because I had heard this. Let me go back to see my mother and father real quick. "Still another man told Jesus, 'I will follow you, Lord, but first, let me go back and say goodbye to my family.' And Jesus replied, 'No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God.'" I don't think it was chance that he said plow, because what did Elisha burn up? What was he using? Let me explain something to you, folks. I'm going to break this down as simply as I can. When you go to serve God, you got to be all in. You don't get to make it halfway. You don't get to pick and choose. See, the man that Jesus was talking about, so let me go back and say goodbye to my family. Chances are his family wasn't even dead. He was saying, "Let me wait till my family's gone. And I got no other commitments. Then, God, I'll follow you." See, here's what it's saying is, God, I'll follow you when it's convenient for me. I got other things going on right now. Family's got a lot of stuff. I got to take care of mom and dad. I got to take care of the field. I got to take care of the house. I got to take care of the kids. I got to take care of whatever it is. God, I'll serve you. I want to go with you. But wait till it's convenient. Wait till I don't have anything else going on. I'm busy right now. See, that's what they were saying. That's what Elisha is kind of breaking down when he says, "Hey, I want to follow you, Elijah. I want to do this, but I got to go back and say bye to my family." See, here's the deal, folks. When God calls you, you go.
Amen.
Not when you feel like going. You go because He called you.
Amen.
See, I was a little boy. Mom and Daddy would tell us to do something. That wasn't a request for later. That meant you do it. Not when you want to, not when you like. Now. If they said, "Go in there and pick this up," you went in there and you picked that up. If you didn't, there was punishment coming. Well, I would have got to it. Yeah, but you didn't. Now, we serve a God, luckily, who doesn't strike us down at the instant we don't do what He says. Praise God for that. He's merciful to us. Thank goodness that He is slow, but not in the way we say He's slow, that He's slow to anger and that He forgives us. But I'm going to tell you something. Here's the deal. When He calls you, you best be going. Elisha said, oh, I want to follow you, but let me go back. Now, as soon as he said that, Elijah said to him, what have I done? Basically, he said, this is too hard. You're not ready. You can't do it. Jesus said something like that too. What? New Testament too. John chapter 6. John in the 6th chapter, look at this. This is kind of cool now. Amazing how much Jesus paralleled the Word of God, isn't it? Verse 60. Got a footnote in the Bible says, many disciples deserted Jesus. On hearing this teaching, many of His disciples said, this is a hard teaching. Who can accept it? Aware that His disciples were grumbling about it, Jesus said to them, does this offend you? What if you see the Son of Man ascend to where I was before? The Spirit gives life, the flesh counts for nothing. The words I've spoken to you, they're full of the Spirit and life. Yet there's some of you who don't believe. For Jesus had known from the beginning which of them did not believe and who would betray Him. He went on to say, that's why I told you no one can come to me unless the Father's enabled them. From this time, many of His disciples turned back and no longer followed Him. Then He looked and said, you don't want to leave too? He asked the 12. But Simon Peter answered and said, Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. We've come to believe and know you are the Holy One of God. Jesus replied, have I not chosen you, the 12? Yet one of you is a devil. He meant Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, who though one of the 12 was later to betray Him. Here's what I'm trying to say. Many people are going to hear the Word of God and they're going to realize it's tough. And they're going to abandon Him. Because it ain't always easy to follow. It's hard to stand apart from the crowd. It's hard to stand apart from what everybody else is doing. It is hard to stand on your principle when nobody else wants to do that. But it is worth it. The 12 said, Lord, where would we go? We've given up everything to follow you. Everything is gone. Elisha, when he heard Elijah say, what have I done? This is too hard for you. I'm sorry I brought you into this. You can't do this. Elisha said, yes, I can. He ran back to where he was. He took his ox. He took his plow. He took the very things that were making him a living and he killed them. He got rid of them. He burned the ox with the plow. Here's what he did. He slaughtered those oxen, all of them. Then he took the plow. He busted that thing into pieces. He built a fire. He cooked the meat. And then he gave the meat away to all the people. Here's the symbolism. Here's why it's strong. No turning back. He cut all ties to everything he would have ever had. He said, you know what? I can never, ever again use this plow. Never again will I be able to use these oxen. Never again will I have anything to do with this stuff. God, I am all in with you. I am giving you everything that I have. Guys, here's the deal. Maybe God's called you to something. Maybe He's calling you to something right now. But there's something in this world holding you back. Burn it. Get rid of it. Get it out of your life. Because it is holding you back from God Himself. And let me tell you something. You will never find satisfaction. You will never find satisfaction till you do what God's telling you to do. You will never find peace. You will never be comfortable till you yield to the Spirit of God. Elisha said, listen, you're right. I stalled, but no more. He took it out. He killed it. He didn't give it back to his dad and mom. He didn't give it to his brothers or his neighbors. He destroyed it. Why? Because there was no going back to it then. Now, I ain't saying quit your job and let's put on hoodies and let's all stand around together. Okay? It's not what I'm trying to tell you, but I am telling you this. If God's calling you to do something, and there's something in your life that's in the way, you need to get out of the way. Amen. If it's a job, can I tell you this? God gave you the job you got, He'll give you another one if that's Him telling you to do it. If it's a career, then it's a career. If it's a friend, it's a friend. If it's a boat or a truck or whatever it is it's holding you back, you better get it out of your life.
Amen. That's right.
Because when I read you the scripture, it said to the 12, they said, where would we go? There was a whole lot more than 12 to begin with. And the rest of them said, I can't do this, and they left. Do you know why the 12 stayed? When God called them, if you remember, when He called the disciples, each one, what did they do? They immediately got up from whatever they were doing, and they left and went with Him. When Jesus called Peter and his brother, what did He do? They dropped their nets. They left the daddy fishing, and they went with Jesus. When He called Matthew, the tax collector, what did he do? He got up from his table where he was working, left his books, left the money, left all his career, and followed Christ. He left it behind because he knew none of this was going to matter. It's Jesus that mattered. Elisha left behind everything else that mattered. Then they went on. Elijah trained Elisha for a little while, and then he saw him. He saw him do something amazing. In 2 Kings, in the first couple of chapters, you're going to read about it. Elijah was taken away to heaven by a chariot of fire and a whirlwind. Elisha had asked him, when God takes you, I want to take your place. I want to be there. I want to see. He said, that ain't my power. I can't do it. He said, but if you see this happen, if you see it the way God has said, then you'll know it's your place to take. And he watched him as a chariot and angels, the chariot of fire out of the sky, came down, got Elijah and took him off. He watched him go away. And the only thing left was the cloak. And he took the cloak that he had once been given. And he took that mantle upon himself and he became a prophet. Two cool things you'll read about in 2 Kings. Elijah, number one, they were walking along together. He laid the cloak across the Jordan River and the waters parted and they crossed on dry land. When he came back alone, Elisha had the cloak. He laid it on the water. The waters parted and he went back across on dry land. God had given him everything He had promised. He asked Elijah, he said, I want a double portion of your spirit. Not just one, I want a double portion. He said, not my call. Only if God gives it to you. God gave it to him and then some. How long was he prophet? Almost twice as long. You want to know something? That ain't by coincidence. You may sit there and say, those are just numbers. No, it's God. It is God. God gives. He hears your prayers. He knows. And when He gives it to you, you better know it's been given to you. That is why I want to say this to everybody in this room right now. God has blessed you. God has touched you. And you need to accept it. And He has forgiven you. And you need to accept it. Stop stalling. Stop saying, oh, well, He can't do it to me. It ain't for me. No, it is for you. He's done it. Stop fighting it and just thank Him for it. Stop holding on to whatever it is. Whatever oxen you're holding on to, let it go. Burn it and let God have it. Elisha went on to serve for many years. He was a great, great mighty prophet. His story is told throughout 2 Kings. Here's what I want to close with. We must realize, guys, this. We cannot serve God and man. We must choose. If we decide to follow Jesus, it must be with our whole selves. We can't go a little bit. We can't give Him part of our lives. We've got to give it all to Him. Everything else in your life revolves around Him. We must give it all to Him. No holding back. All in. I'm going to close in just a second. I'm going to tell you all a quick little story. I've known the Lord pretty much my whole life. I've served Him a lot of it. Some of it I didn't. You've heard me give some testimony. Most of you have. But I'm going to tell you another piece. I believed in God. I believed in His blessings. But there's one area in my life that I refused to give to Him. That was my finances. didn't add up. I was a numbers guy, I was a mathematics guy in high school. I took every math you could take. I graduated valedictorian. I knew numbers, man. And let me tell you something, the numbers didn't add up. I didn't have enough money to pay for my bills and give it to God too. There's no way. I couldn't eat, there's no way. It wasn't there. It was not there. I don't care how you spun it, I don't care how you did it. It wasn't there. And I tried to hold on and I struggled all the time, paycheck to paycheck. I was writing checks, sometimes post-dating those checks, hoping those folks would be honest enough not to cash it to the date because it wasn't going to cover what I wrote it for. I was living 2 paychecks ahead, trying to pay the mortgage, trying to pay the car payment, trying to do this, and it was struggling.
Come on.
Struggling, man, and I remember I was struggling in certain areas, and I remember it well. It's been a little over 7.5 years, almost 8 years ago now. And I'm sitting there at the house, man, and I'm struggling trying to get bills. These new schemes, really, is all you can say, came up. How you can pay more. Don't pay these bills, and then they'll settle, and you'll pay lower amounts. Don't pay your credit cards. Don't do these things. And I bought into it. I'll try it. It's got to be. And I didn't pay things, and then I found out, man, they were chasing me. They were going to come get me. They were going to foreclose on my house. They were going to do all these things. And I had never been late on the stuff. I had always done good, but I didn't have it, man. And it was. This company said, we'll work with you, we'll do all this. I said, okay, just give us this much and then we'll do all this and negotiate for you. And I said, okay. And they sent me a packet of papers is all they sent me. They said, here, you just got to send this in to people. I said, wait, what are you going to do for me? Well, that's it. We put together these papers. And I broke down, man. I was in the house and I broke down. I screamed out to God. I cried. I said, God, I don't understand. I've done everything for you, man. I'm serving you in ministry. I'm working hard, and I'm getting nowhere. And now all of a sudden, I've got us in a place I can't get out of. God, I don't know what to do. Please, I just give it all to you. Take it. Take it. I quit. I'm done trying. I'm done trying it myself. I quit. You can have it. Whatever it is, you can have it. In one area of my life I knew I wasn't doing was I wasn't giving to Him. I'd write a check here or there. I'd give a little extra. I always gave it when I had left over, which wasn't very often. So I began to write those checks, not knowing this ain't going to work. Less than a month later, I get a job offer. I go to work with a company. I've been working with the same company 15.5 years. Day one, starting with a new company, double my salary. Day one. Double my vacation time. Day one. I mean, this is less than a month. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Then they start paying me these bonuses, and it's like, within 3 months or 4 months, I was caught back up on everything. Now, let me tell you, I ain't way ahead. I'm not going to stand here and say this, but you know what? I write that check. Every time. If I get paid, God gets paid. Amen. And if whatever He does with it. And you know what? As you can tell, I ain't gone hungry. My experience with Bounce House showed me maybe I need to go a little hungry now and again. But God took care of it. Because I burned the ox. I burned the plow. I can't go back. I remember this. I'm just saying this to y'all. I'm saying it honest and being open. I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't know why you might need to. This is where God's taking it. Income tax refunds. They came to me. I used to never pay on it. I wouldn't. No, I'm not tired of that. That's taxes. Well, I pay on what I get. So I pay off my salary that I bring home. That's after taxes. God could be. And I got income tax refund. It's been 6 or 7 years ago. I got a nice one, man. Like $10,000, $11,000. It's a big number. And I got to go write that check Sunday morning after I get that income tax refund. And my hand's shaking. I'm not lying to you. I'm shaking. Because I ain't never wrote a check that big. It wasn't for a house or a car. I'm sitting here. I'm just going to give. I'm thinking in my mind all these things I can do with it. Satan's bombarding me. You can do this and this, and think about how you can put this away. Nope. I wrote that check. It was probably the messiest handwriting I've ever done, but I did it. And I gave it. And I've done it ever since. And it's gotten a lot easier. Because I know my God's got my back. I'm not preaching on tithing because I believe this church is very good at that. But what I am saying is this: for me, that was my ox. That was my plow. That was the thing that kept me from being all God would have me to be. I gave it up. My life ain't never been the same. Because I yielded to Him. Now I'm not standing here telling you, oh, I got it tenfold and I got thousands of dollars in the bank. No, I don't. But you know what? I'm fine. God always provides. Even in the downtime the last couple of years when I didn't get those bonuses anymore, God never missed a beat. We're fine. The thing is, my ox, my plow, had to be burned. It took me getting broken. Sometimes it does. It might be different for you. Maybe your ox and your plow's time. Time's a precious commodity. It feels like we never have enough of. Maybe you're spending more of it in some things you shouldn't. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's friends. Maybe it's material possessions. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's any number of things. Maybe it's literally an ox and a plow. I don't know. Could be. But I'm asking you, church, search your heart this morning. What is it that is keeping you from being all that God has called you to be? Because I know, and I'm not trying to be ugly, but I do know this. We ain't there yet. As a church, as a pastor, as a congregation, we ain't there yet. We're working on it. But I still feel like there's obstructions, there's barriers, there's something. I don't know what it is. But I'm asking you to be honest with yourself this morning. Are you all in for God? Or are you holding on to the plow and ox? Because Christ said you can't do both. Any man who holds his hand to the plow and looks back is not fit for the kingdom of heaven. I ain't saying that. Jesus did. Now, if you don't know Him as Lord and Savior, none of this really matters. It's a good history lesson for you, but it ain't helping you. You got to know Him before you can start on any of this. And I never assume for a moment everybody knows the Lord. I look around the room and I believe that. Most all of it, I've seen all of you. I believe you got that foundation of knowledge. I believe you're saved. I hope you are. But I ain't going to assume it, and I ain't going to let you walk out of here without having the opportunity if you know me. So I'm going to give you a couple of things before we close out. As Bobby comes up, he's going to play in just a moment. I want to say this to you. Number one, if you don't know Jesus as your Lord and Savior, man, it's simple. He is alive. Here's the deal. He was born on this earth. He was God Almighty, and He came to the earth in the flesh. And He lived among us. He was born just like we are, and He lived. And then He lived 3 years preaching and teaching on this earth. And at about 33 years of age, they took His life on a cross. But He gave it as a sacrifice for the sins we had committed as people from all of history to all of history that would come. He became our sacrifice. He died for us. They put Him in a grave, and 3 days later, He took His life back to show us eternal life is something we get to. We don't have to fear death. Jesus Christ did that for us. We sinned as mankind. We let God down. All of us. But Christ covered that for us. If you believe that, and you ask Him, you're saved. That's all it is. If you'll confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord, you believe in your heart God raised Him from the dead, you shall be saved. Everybody in this room who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Amen. That's how you do that. So if you're not there, that's all you got to do. But if you are there, and you're not doing things like you know you should, there's an area of your life You know I'm not serving God like I should. It's pretty much the same thing. You just admit it to God, He already knows. And then you commit to Him, you're going to do better. And then you do it. Whatever it is you got to let go of, let it go. The last thing, those are the two. There's three. But you need to touch from the Lord this morning. Your mind, your body, your spirit, whatever it is, you need a healing from Him. You need Him. Come on. You see, you can do it from there, and that's fine. But there's something about getting up and leaving everything else behind and coming to God. I'll pray with you if you like. I'll be happy to. There's others in here who'll be happy to. If you want to pray by yourself, you pray by yourself. I don't have to do it. Believe me, I don't have some special nothing. I'm just a servant. But if you need to come this morning, whether it be salvation, whether it be rededication, whether it be burning an ox in a plow, or whether it be healing, you come. We're not going to be here much longer. But I want you to come if you want to come. In Jesus' name.